Hello, my friend. Welcome to live chat. Thank you so much for being here. There's a ton of people here live. This is going to be a very interesting live chat with the fabulous Nick Snider from The Viewer's Voice. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on over. There he is. So excited to have you on, Nick.
God, hi.
Hi. It's good to see you. Hello. So,
porn star.
I know. I accidentally had his name spelled wrong, and it's the wrong. It was the wrong Nick Snider. We have the Nick Snider from The Viewer's Voice is here with us today. Thank you, Nick, so much for being here. Before we get into, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
And I said thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get into live chat, I do want to quickly say hello to the people that are here live. We have lots to talk about, but we've actually, it looks like I can't see the people that were here first. I can only see people whenever this thing refreshed. So Almond Joy is here, and Bella and Victoria and Anna Maria and Gary and Maura and Debbie Green in the house. Makeup or Breakup blog is here. Nessa and Saucer Jess in the house. Eddie and Ashley and Miss Latina and Julio down by the schoolyard. They're here. And if I did not say hello to you, hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. So if you do not know Nick, if you are not familiar with Nick and his channel, Nick, do you want to give just like a quick what you do here on YouTube?
I would say that I am the messiest of all of the drama channels. I don't care what you know about me. I put it all out there on the table, and I talk about James Charles more than anyone.
So that's your claim to fame.
That's my claim to fame. Thank you, James Charles.
Oh, fabulous. So Nick has a drama channel, and he does not hide the fact that it is a drama channel here on YouTube. And if you've never seen his channel, it is linked down below if you are interested. And I asked you in the community and our collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness to ask Nick some questions. And there are a lot of questions. Some people really love Nick, think Nick is amazing. Some people not the biggest fan of Nick. So we're going to ask all of the questions here. So in the beginning, a lot of people really want to know just why you started a drama channel. Why was that what was your calling on YouTube? Why did you choose that versus maybe a different topic?
I would say I started as a drama channel back at the end of 2015. I was friends with someone who, I'm not going to say their name, but I was friends with someone who was going through a lot with their family on YouTube. And they were like, oh, if you make these videos and kind of expose my family, then it'll help me out in the long run. Was it shady to do? It was shady to do. Yes, it was. But that's technically what got me started as a drama channel on YouTube. And I have a lot of opinions, and a lot of people do messed up stuff, and I just love to talk about it.
So when you see someone that does something that you think is wrong, you kind of want to call them out on it, and you enjoy being that voice. Is that fair to say?
I feel like people should be held accountable for their actions. I know that I like being held accountable for mine, so I just feel like everyone should be the same.
Mm-hmm. So is that how you chose your channel name?
Okay, no. The Viewer's Voice was actually a channel name that was being used by someone, I think their name was Tally, back in the day, and they had it out for me, they had it out for my friend, and they basically got ran off the internet. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was. And so when we were coming up with the idea for my drama channel, I was like, it's available. Like, why don't we just take that? Because there was already traction behind it. So that's how The Viewer's Voice came about. When I was actually going to rebrand it at the end of last year, I wanted to change the name completely just to get rid of it. But I already had the custom URL, so I got it.
I see. That's very interesting, because I always thought that it was because you wanted to be the voice of the viewers, but really it was just jumping in someone's grave so that you could take their followers.
It was more of a big F you to them, because I didn't get any of their followers from it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't even know how many followers they had at the time. It was just someone who had it out for me.
Gotcha.
But I would say that I am I get the comment all the time, oh my God, you said exactly what I was thinking. So I guess that it kind of rings true.
Yeah, I always think it did. That's why I thought it was, because I always thought that was what you were trying to do. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. The things I'm learning already, Nick. The things I'm learning already.
Shadier than what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be more of I'm the voice of the people. Cool. Like it worked out that way. So that's good. So with your channel, you talk about how you talk about James Charles a lot. So are there ever any topics where you're just like, oh my gosh, I've talked about James Charles one more stinking time. Like, oh my gosh. Like, are there any topics that you just like get so bored with and you just don't want to deal with it anymore but you have to do it anyway?
Yes. Every time that James Charles copies someone. So we have like in a month's time, you can have like 6 videos of James Charles like stealing from a smaller creator, not giving credit. And then when he gets called out about not giving credit, I mean, he just tried to say that he invented like the Star Spangled Banner or something.
Right.
Like,
well, it wasn't exactly that, but yeah.
It was bad. But that definitely James copying people. I wish that he would stop doing that and give credit.
Now, are there any topics that you like know you will never talk about on your channel?
Onision.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about that guy. I've just heard he's kind of a scuzzbag, but I don't know anything about him. I've never watched one of his videos. I'm not in that part of YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into detail about him because I know that he goes around anytime his name is mentioned, and there are people that will send links to people. Ooh. So steer clear.
Okay, well, we'll change the subject then. I don't want some guy I don't even know like coming after me or whatever. Like, I don't know you, man. don't flag my video. So when you make videos, you sometimes upset people. People get upset with the things that you say and your opinions. How do you deal with the negativity when you feel like you've made it, you've been honest? How do you deal with the negativity that comes back to you from that?
That's an interesting one because I don't let it affect me at all. I know going into it, not everyone's going to agree with me. That's one of the reasons I love YouTube, because everyone can have their own opinion. At least on my channel, you can have your own opinion and you can tell me about your opinion. I don't delete comments or anything. I don't know. I don't have like a weird way of dealing with it because I just don't let it affect me. Like half the time, if a comment starts off and I can tell it's going to be negative, like towards me, calling me names or something, I just won't read it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I fire back at them, but I mean, it gets a little messy over there.
So you do sometimes kind of lash back, but sometimes you just kind of let it roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just block people. Like as soon as I realize that it's going to go that way, I read like half the sentence and then they're just blocked. I'm a big blocker. And then people are like, oh, you delete comments. And it's like, no, I didn't delete your comment. You've just been blocked. So
yeah. I get it all the time with you're deleting comments. It's like, no, but you probably said something that was flagged.
Oh, yeah,
that's
true.
Of course you have flagged words on your channel just in case. So if you said something that was flagged, girl, you should have thought about your comment beforehand.
There you go. Especially like cuss words. Those get flagged real quick. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So this comment is so funny. Because these are all, I just copy and paste from what my community told me. So the question was, what's the most surprising thing you've learned since becoming a drama channel / payroll-e? We'll talk about the payroll-e thing in a bit, but what's the most surprising thing that you've learned since you've started your channel?
That a lot of these influencers love getting in drama channels DMs when they want to paint a narrative. And then when the narrative doesn't get painted, they will turn around and block you. You guys all know who I'm talking about on that one.
Oh, I don't.
Starts with James, ends with Charles.
Oh. Well, we're dropping it down. No holds barred. No holds barred. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm like pausing because I'm like skipping around and I want to make sure I get to like the best stuff. Okay, so on your channel, of course, you're talking about all of these people, and we've got this big thing with cancel culture right now where, it's kind of like, who do we cancel? Who do we not? Is cancel culture toxic or is it necessary? What do you think about cancel culture as like a general thing? Do you think that people should be canceled or do you feel like it's gone too far? What are your thoughts?
I think that people should be held accountable for their actions. I definitely think that everyone should be given another chance. I don't think that you can actually cancel someone. Like, you can't be like, okay. So we did all those videos on James Charles back when Dramageddon was going on. We were just bringing the facts that were being presented to us online and giving them to people. And some people went a little harder because there are some channels on YouTube that would love to tear someone down, would probably love to go in through someone's window and like lock them in the closet or something. But, you can't cancel someone. I'm just gonna put it as that. I was gonna go into a big detail with that, but I'm not going to anymore.
So you don't think that the active, community can cancel someone? You don't feel like that masses of people, no?
I don't think that they can. I think that everyone has that decision if they're going to continue to follow someone, watch their content, or if they're going to buy their product. I mean, if someone's messing up, I keep trying. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, well, yeah, just a warning for my audience, live chat is, especially if I'm talking to somebody that cusses on their channel, like, it's not family friendly. So this is your warning ahead of time. This chat is not going to be family friendly. Earmuffs on the kids or put headphones on. All right, go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, so where the hell was I going with that? I don't remember. I got like paused because I wanted to say the word fuck instead of messing up.
So just about cancel culture and how you were saying you can't really cancel somebody, and you were... Like, for example, go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say, like, for example, Kat Von D. I feel like Kat Von D, we're out of the influencer realm, that people really, I feel like her brand has just completely crashed to the ground since, the anti-vax thing came out. And then when that came out, that snowballed into the anti-Semitic claims and all of that other stuff. I have a whole video on it. People that are watching my channel have a whole video on all of her controversies in case you're curious. But I really do feel like nobody talks about her brand, like, at all. So I feel like in that example, cancel culture, not cancel culture, but canceling of that brand was extremely effective in really destroying her brand. So I can see what you're saying as far as the influencers. I haven't really seen, I don't know though, because if you look at like Manny and Laura, their channels are still doing relatively well. But they're not doing as well as they were before they were canceled, That
one I don't even understand because they really haven't been in any drama as of recently. The last time Manny was in drama that I can think of that was like drama is when he put that false flag on T-Spill's channel, which kind of put the axe in his back even more. But with the Kat Von D stuff, I don't know. I think that just goes down to everyone's opinion on what they think about anti-vax and if they agree with that or not. And so therefore they're speaking with their dollars in that sense. When it comes to influencers, with her not using her products as much in videos, I would have to say that maybe they just don't agree with the anti-vax thing as well as the anti-Semitic stuff that came out about her. I don't even, I'm really drawing a blank on the anti-Semitic stuff that came out about her.
Yeah, there was a thing about the Miami, her boyfriend, and there's like a tattoo on his neck that's like a swastika, but it's not the Nazi swastika. And then there's the note that she allegedly wrote to Ami James from Miami Inc. that had a slur against Jewish people on it, and that she's dated people that have done anti-Semitic things.
Now I'm thinking of that tattoo. That is a swastika, sir. You got a swastika because you wanted to get one, and you're trying to close a bullshit story. So no, I don't. No, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that just in general, do you feel like when someone is canceled, that you're contributing to cancel culture by making videos about them?
I guess that you could say it like that if people are looking at that as cancel culture, because we are reporting the facts on that person. So it is making information more public about a certain situation. But we're not sitting on our channels actively going, you need to stop following this person, you need to unsubscribe, stop spending your money, you need to stop everything with this person and pretend they don't exist. We don't do that. Now, are there people out there that have done that? Yeah, there are. But I don't know.
Okay. So you feel like, you're pretty much just putting the information out there, and then it's up to the viewer to make the decision. It's up to the customer to make the decision. I think that's fair enough.
That's why a lot of us in our videos will ask, what is your opinion? Because we don't want to sway everyone. Just put the facts out there and that's it.
All right. I've got people yelling at me in the comments, including my friend Georgia Harris, that also about her lipstick called Selection, which was a term used during the Holocaust. That I don't want to go into too much detail on why they used Selection, but it was real bad. Now I said in my video mistakenly that the word isn't used anymore. It's not allowed to be used for people anymore, but they use it for, selecting an object or whatever. They still use that word, but they used it for people. So that was another thing. I've just got people yelling at me about it, so I want to make sure I mention it.
Well, I do not.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. So if people are talking about boycotting Two Faced, and we'll talk a little bit about. I guess we could bring up the Shane Dawson documentary now. There's definitely a lot of people that want to know your thoughts on the Shane Dawson documentary so far.
Can I take back what I said about cancel culture? with the Two-Face thing. Like, that whole Two-Face thing, they got Nikki tutorials when she was very young and naive and kind of getting into this game with the following. The Power of Makeup, I think, exploded a few months before that palette came out. I could be completely wrong with that. But to give her $50,000 when you know that's going to sell a lot of product, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
That's a dick move.
Yeah.
And with James Bondino, I think that he's out of touch with reality. I mean, he's sitting there in front of like a Rich Lives Matter cake. Okay, you think it's funny with your friends? It's not funny. Like, who was the one that was like, I'm gonna bake a cake and I'm gonna put Rich Lives Matter on here and then we're gonna cut it and take a photo. Like, Two-Faced, there's a lot of whisperings about things about them behind the scenes and how they treat influencers and all that. That is a brand that I don't support. I'll say that.
Right. So you're not above canceling brands, but you feel like it's up to an individual person who they choose to cancel. Right. So
dollars.
Right. Right. So overall about the Shane Dawson documentary, what are you thinking so far?
I think it's really good. I'm still curious if there's going to be like a deep dive into the whole James Charles situation that happened, because that was a big one. And in the preview for it, we also saw like they were showing the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks. So
right.
I'm
curious to see how he's going to dig into that stuff. And if you haven't seen them yet, the Shane Dawson docuseries, part 1, if you're watching this in the replay, part 1 and 2 have been released. We haven't seen anything beyond that, but they're definitely interesting. And he's thrown a lot of shade, spilled a little tea, and had a little messy time on the internet. You know, Shane, at this point, don't you think?
He has. Girl.
And you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that comes out. So do you feel like in any way he's damaging the beauty community at all by the things that he's exposed at this point?
No, I think in the long run he's actually going to end up helping the beauty community. Like, let's take this Nikki tutorials thing that was just brought up, for example. I think that when people get into the influencer realm and they start to grow and they start to get these deals, they need to be more educated on, this is what I need to ask for. I need to take care of myself at the end of the day. And don't be afraid to ask for more, but don't make yourself look like an ass, because there are some people that for like a 20-second clip in their video, they're asking for like $300,000. So it's like, you can either tarnish it or you can fix it. I think that he is going to make it better because people are going to start to get their shit together.
Right. So speaking of this documentary, there's a lot of speculation about Jeffree Star and your relationship with Jeffree Star, and that you are being paid by Jeffree Star not to speak about him in a negative way. How much truth is there to you being actually, I know you joke about him being on the payroll, but is there any truth to him actually paying you? Like, you know, let's break it down. Does he pay you to not talk about him?
Oh, girl, 6 figures. 6 figures. Like, girl, I'm sitting in this apartment, so nice. No, you know, it's crazy that people accuse me of being on the payroll, because I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that out of most of the drama channels, I criticize Jeffree like the most. I mean, the only other one I can think of that really criticizes him is Tea by Ali. And no, it's a joke. I think it's funny to bring up the whole payroll thing, because people are so dead set on it. And a lot of people are like, they're getting checks, but then people are like, no, they're getting clout. They're getting invited to events. Girl, I was a +1 at the event that I went to the Morphe party that happened in LA. I went with Rich, and I just happened to get the invite because I was in LA during that time. And a few other people got the invite as well. So it's like, there is no payroll. Are some people closer to Jeffree than others? Yes, that is true. Some people, drama channels that are close to these influencers, will not speak about their friend, and I completely understand it. But I will call everyone out when I see fit. Okay,
so speaking of that, you know, we know that your friend Rich is friends with Jeffree. We've seen that he's in the documentary with Jeffree. So there's some criticism of you that when Rich stepped in it, that you didn't call Rich out on his issues publicly, but you're willing to call out everybody else. But when Rich stepped in it, you didn't say anything. You didn't make a video about it. Can you tell me a little bit about why you didn't do that like you do with everybody else?
well, there's a difference. I am personal friends with Rich, and these other people like James, Jeffree, even who else? Like Manny, Laura Lee. I'm not friends with them. I don't want to be friends with them. I don't care if I ever meet any of them. I mean, obviously I met Jeffree, but that's not my deal on here. But if I'm friends with someone and they fuck up, like when the one thing was going on with Rich, he was sitting in my living room, and I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." Like right to his face, and gave him a talking to right there. Not everything has to be on the internet. Just as I don't ask people to talk about their friends, other drama channels out there, then don't tell me to talk about my friends, just so you guys can get some story and run with it because you want to see someone go down.
Gotcha. So it's not that you didn't call Rich out, because you called him out because he was on your couch and you told him to his face, dude, you messed up. But you didn't make a video about it because you didn't.
Well, what am I going to say? What would I even sit down and say to that? Like, yes, I had a talk with my friend and I told him it was fucked up. That's that. Because if I say that, people are going to be like, that's not true. You didn't do that.
Right.
But people just automatically wanted to see Rich go down in that situation. And even when the other ones, because I think it was over a period of like a week that all this was coming out about him, I was still in Florida for the one. And I called him. I was like, again, you're a fucking idiot. Like, haha, like not funny. Like, so yeah. I did talk to him, but I'm not going to make videos about my friends. Have I messed up and said things publicly before about people? Yes, but she's trying to be a better person, girl.
Right. So basically what you're saying is when you have a personal relationship with someone and you can talk to them privately behind the scenes about how they messed up, that's a more respectful way to do it rather than calling them out publicly. But if you don't know that person and you don't have a relationship with them, then you don't have the ability to call them out privately and have that conversation. So therefore the video is made. Is that kind of what you're saying?
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I'm gonna make sure we're like, that I've got it straight and make sure that the messaging is clear on that.
But you know what's even crazier about that whole situation with Rich? Everyone was calling on myself, Dustin, Ashley, Paige even, and a few other people to talk about this publicly. And when we did, because we all addressed it on Twitter, which is where we were all being called out to talk about it, that wasn't good enough. Like it had to be a video, and they were demanding that we all do a video. And I don't know about everybody else, but if you demand something from me and say, you need to talk about this right now, guess what's not going to happen?
Right. Yeah.
So technically we did all talk about it.
Yeah. But just privately behind the scenes. And now I feel like it's kind of past, that people are kind of, they've made their decision of whether they're going to be subscribed to you, be subscribed to Rich, be subscribed to whoever. And it's kind of like,
Yeah.
So someone's saying in the chat, which I think is a really, really good point, AWOL says, then don't expect Jackie Aina to talk about Two-Faced. So they feel like that was kind of what happened with Jackie, that Jackie felt like she could talk to them privately about it. And that I don't remember exactly what you said on the Jackie Aina. Okay, let me rewind for anybody that doesn't know the situation. So when the Rich Lives Matter cake came out, a lot of people were pressuring Jackie Aina to address it publicly and call out Two-Faced for the cake. And I'm not sure, Nick, what your perspective was in your videos. That did you feel at the time that Jackie should have called out Jared publicly for it?
I feel like she should have said something publicly for sure.
Yeah.
Because it came down to, it looked like when a paycheck was involved that, and this is what a lot of people are saying online, so don't just think this was Nick's opinion. Right. But a lot of people think that since she did not say something publicly about it, that a paycheck was more important to her than her morals.
So
that's how I look on it.
So you had that as a perspective that it wasn't a friendship between her and Jared, it was a business relationship. And therefore, that was different than the situation with you and Rich where you called him out privately. So is it possible now in hindsight, now that both of these situations has happened, that Jackie did talk to him privately, similarly to the way you talked to Rich privately? Is it possible that was the situation?
Of course, 100%.
So do you think in that situation, if she did see him as a friend and she talked to him privately, do you feel like that would have been enough in that situation?
See, that I don't know. Because then there's like, I would say millions of people that look to her for advice on certain situations and how to deal with certain situations. And so if they're all feeling let down because she didn't speak out about that, it's kind of like, I don't know. But I definitely get that maybe she did speak to them behind the scenes. So maybe I went a little bit too hard on her during the time. So I get it now because I've been through a situation with Rich.
Right.
So it is what it is. Like, I totally understand that.
Right. And also, us being, you know, two white people sitting here, we're not affected as much by a cake that says Rich Lives Matter that a black woman or a black man might be affected by the messaging behind that. So, you know, it's really more their interactions, I guess, than ours being kind of not as affected, if that makes sense.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. What was this? Someone was saying, you know, about how you're not calling out Jeffree Star. I think we kind of talked about that you have been calling out Jeffree for a long time. Has Jeffree done anything recently to be called out for? I can't think of anything.
Well, as someone on the payroll,
yeah,
I can personally not think of anything. No, I really honestly cannot think of anything. I mean, even James Charles hasn't been doing anything to get called out. It's been very slow for everyone. But no, if you look back at the history of my channel, there are many videos. I mean, I just recently got unblocked by Jeffree on Twitter. So It's like, that's why I never understand when people are like, oh, you never called Jeffree out. I'm like, just if you're going to try to call me out for something, bitch, like look back on my channel and at least get those receipts because there's many of those.
So if Jeffree messes up in the future, you do plan on making videos about it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So that is checked off. Nick is not letting Jeffree off the hook. No. Checked off.
No.
So another thing I wanted to mention is that it seems like in the YouTube drama community, is it a community? Is it considered a community? Like, are we?
I think it's a community.
It's a community. Okay, all right. So it seems like, okay, so it's you and Rich. And let me ask you real quick. People were asking if you and Rich are dating. Are you and Rich dating?
I sat on his face one time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The visuals, no. Nick, the visuals.
No, I'm just kidding. That started because I just met Rich, like, when did I meet Rich? Like, in May. And he talked me into going to Vegas. And everybody was always like, oh, my God, the way that Nick and Rich, like, look at each other in their videos they're doing. So we took one picture, and I put his hand on my ass. And he said, it's official, and everyone runs with it. We're not dating. We're just good friends. And there's been a hanky-panky ever.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so now that we've cleared that up. So you seem to have a group of actual legit friends in the drama community. So it's you, Rich, T by Alley, who am I missing? Dustin Daly.
Ashley Kyle. Petty Page. And then I would say that's like the majority. Like, I don't speak to T-Spill. Like, there's people that are friends with T-Spill. There's some that are friends with different people, but like the majority of them that you just named.
Okay. So it seems like I've noticed recently that there's kind of there's like this group of people, and now there's like an emerging group of drama channels that seem to be, I'm not sure if they're voluntarily like being pitted against your group or not, but it seems like it's almost like there's this other, like there's like some up and coming kind of drama channels over here that are almost like, I don't know, like I don't know if they're it's so weird because some of them seem like they're kind of coming after your group and some of them seem like they're being lumped into them involuntarily. What is going on, Nick? What is going on?
Well, what is happening is, people, and this has been going on for the past few months, people have always been joking like, oh my God, there's drama in the drama community. Someone needs to report on this. A few people have decided to run with that and have started commenting about our drama, which, I mean, it's cool. It's whatever. It comes to the territory. We sit online and we talk shit about people all damn day. So, of course, people are going to dig into us and all of that. But, guys, if you're going to come for me, please stop bringing up my arrest from 2010. Like, I have a whole video on it on my channel. Like, it's not new. I talked about it. I said I'll suck your dick and balls. I get it. Stop it. Go for the second arrest. Damn.
I really hope the moms in the room have their earmuffs on the kids. I already gave them a warning, Nick. It's okay. But, okay, so do you feel like your group of people is, like, anti this other group of people? Like, is this something you guys are, like, is it a thing?
Like, we don't even talk. Like, we've had laughs about it because, I mean, it's funny because it is weird to sit there and see, like, you're now the topic or you're being analyzed because of the kind of content you put out or wherever. But you know what? At the end of the day, none of us really care. It comes with the territory. And I mean, as long as people are respectful, like as long as they're doing exactly what they are bitching about us that we need to start doing, then girl, it's fair game. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Right. So you don't have a problem with other channels talking about a mess up that maybe you have or Rich has or that Allie has or Dustin has or whatever. You have no problem with that as long as they do a good job with it, kind of thing, as long as they are fair about it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with it. I can't speak for everyone else, but I would imagine they are.
So what's your line where it's not okay?
Don't dig into people's families. I've seen people go after kids. Kids have nothing to do with this. Like, don't talk about Peyton's daughter. Don't talk about like Ashley's children. Like it's messed up. Like that, there's a line where like respect and it just gets like very nasty.
Right. And I saw one person going after somebody's looks and saying that they weren't pretty enough to have a conversation with them. And I was absolutely disgusted by that. I thought, you know, if you're that low, if that's your material, that someone can't talk to you because they're not pretty enough, like that to me is a disgusting human. That is not someone that like is anybody I would ever listen to. Like that's just my thoughts. Like, I
feel like when you start going for someone's looks, then you are like automatically lost the argument. Like it's like you have nothing else, so you're going after looks. Okay, we get it. Like, is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's good to know that there isn't like some big plot between like you guys and these other like it almost seems like there's people trying to make this a thing, and it's actually just not a thing.
Well, it actually gives like when they come at me and they try to like expose me for different things, it actually gives me content because I'm someone, this is almost to a fault, and my friends will tell you that I am so fucking honest that there are things that I put out there about myself that normal people would never in a million years because they would be ashamed. And it gets me in trouble sometimes. Sometimes it benefits me, but I just don't know how to hold my tongue. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. If it's my secret, I have a lot of trouble keeping it. Like if it's my own personal like stuff, I just you know, like because it's, you know, I've just always been like that too. So I'm totally with you. There's somebody asking, this is actually an interesting question. So I hope you're okay with this one. So it's CJ Run 24. Ask him why does he feel the need to put 5 to 7 ads on a little 10-minute and 1-second video, because that is so excessive and definitely not the norm and makes him look really bad. Shruggy, LOL.
Okay. Let me give a little insight about my ads in my video. First of all, every video I've had this month has been demonetized, and they give it back after like 50,000 views or whatever. Also, people are not getting hit with every single ad in that you're not supposed to be. So if I put 7 in there, there's a good chance that you're probably going to get 4. Now, I don't know if there's a glitch or what, but that is why there are normally 7 ads in the video. So I'm so sorry. Ads. I'm so sorry. Well, you know, there are some channels that do like 20 ads in like a short ass video, okay? So.
Well, now I feel like I'm missing out. I put is every 15 minutes at most. So 30-minute video, I'll have a pre-roll and mid-roll and
okay. Next time you guys come on, I bet you next time you come onto this channel, it's going to be like 8 ads.
Oh, I wouldn't. But I don't get demonetized like you do, so I don't feel like I have the reason. I can't even remember the last time I got demonetized. Think this video probably will because you know, dick and balls, you know. But but yeah. So I mean, I think that. I personally think that's excessive, but I have YouTube Premium. I pay that $10 a month so I don't have to deal with it. Because I like listening to stuff and like playing a game on my phone and listening to a YouTube video at the same time. So that was the reason why I signed up for Premium. I love not having ads on my stuff. And people might not know that if you have YouTube Premium, the YouTuber actually gets, from what I've heard, a higher percentage on ad rates than if you don't have YouTube Premium. And channels like Nick that get demonetized will still get money from YouTube Premium, even if his video gets demonetized. So that's the system that I've heard. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm all about YouTube Premium, and I think YouTube does that on purpose because they want people to buy it.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Like, that is the conspiracy. That is the total conspiracy that they demonetize the channel, so subscribers will be like, oh, let me get the premium so you still get paid. Like, YouTube is shady, y'all.
Yeah, but it's all business. It's all about the business. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
This was yes. So I have one more interesting question that I thought about drama channels in general was somebody was wondering who you feel like are the channels that are the most unbiased, because I know people get accused of being biased. Like, who do you think is super unbiased? Or do you think everybody's biased?
Yeah, everybody's biased at some point. Unbiased. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's some days where people like certain people and then other days where they don't like them at all. So I can't think of one channel.
Do you think it's possible to be unbiased in YouTube beauty drama?
No. It's not, because the things that you see and find out behind the scenes, then that obviously is going to be in your head always. It's going to influence you. So there's no way. I mean, everyone in their life is biased about something. So it's like, there's no way. But then the comments, like, but you're biased for saying that to me. So that's my response. Like, no, I honestly can't think of one person.
Okay. So is there anybody that's not in your friend group that you feel like has a really good either commentary or drama channel that you think is like maybe an up and coming someone or someone that just has, is there anybody that's not in your group that you feel like is doing a really good job? Because of course you're going to say everybody in your group's doing a good job.
Not in my group. I don't know, because I have kind of, like, especially if it's a smaller channel, I always reach out to them. I mean, so I guess that they would be in my group no matter what. Majority, like a channel that I really love right now that is doing amazing with commentary, and she actually does Onision, I believe, as well, there's Drama and Opinions, and there's also Nosy Housefrau, Faith, and who's the other one? Glowing Beauty Addiction.
Nice. And I don't know any of those. Well, actually, I know the Nosy one. I know because I think that person, I'm not sure, that person I think follows me on Twitter, but I don't know that channel. Like, I knew that person had a channel, but I've never watched it. So now I've got channels to watch. So, and I'm going to answer one. I'm going to say Smoky Glow because she's my girl.
Oh, yeah. How did that not even pop in?
Yes.
No, I love Smoky Glow.
And another one. She's the one that outed you?
She outed me, girl.
What do you mean? Tell me more about that.
She publicly shamed me. She did a video where she was talking about drama channels and I think it was actually contribute to cancel culture or whatever. And she pulled up the numbers of myself, Rich, and 2 other people, and she was like, how many videos have they done on a certain someone? And when she got to me, I had like 89 on James Charleston's channel as well.
But sometimes you're putting out like 2 or 3 videos a day, though, for a minute.
She was real tired. But got those videos out, so.
Nice. Well, another one I want to bring up that I've been absolutely loving is Sharita Explains It All, because I feel like she has a really unique perspective, and I've really been loving her channel. So I wanted to throw that one out there, too, because that's one that I've been loving. Smoky Glow and Sharita are my favorites right now, other than, the regular crew that I've been subscribed to forever. So, okay, so let me flip pages here, because I got 6 pages of notes here. I got so much stuff. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so question for you. Did you see the interview that Phil Defranco did with Nikita Dragun?
I watched it, and a lot of people were like, Nikita got real messy on here. You have to watch this. Oh, my God, so much tea. But it's like, we already knew about the boyfriend that was allegedly bought, and we knew that she was obviously going to take James' side in that whole situation. So I don't know where the tea was, girl.
The part that I thought was the most tea was when Phil did not let her down. Okay, so she was talking about the whole graduated first in her class thing, and she was like, because she put out on her Instagram, I graduated first in my class, and she was trying to spin it as that she was the first person who graduated. She was the first person who walked across the stage. And Phil was like, no, I don't think that means what you think it means. Like, it was like a total Princess Bride moment where he's like, I don't think that means what you think it means.
But I mean, do we expect anything less from Nikita?
Yeah, I mean,
at this point,
I've met Nikita a couple times, meaning that I was standing in a room with Nikita a couple of times because she never really made eye contact with me when I attempted to make eye contact. But I don't know Nikita personally, but I don't know.
She just randomly added me to her PR list. They sent me a DM and added me to it, and a lot of people were like, "That's just because she wants you to be nice to her in videos." And I was like,
"Is that a thing, though? Do you think that that's a thing? Do you think people are nice to drama channels in order for them to be nice? You do mean easier on them?
Yeah, totally, and it's a smart move.
Do you think it works?
I don't know. Not with anyone that I know personally. Well, okay, one person I know.
Spill. Who?
Yeah, like I just think that Rich values his friendship with Jeffree a lot, and I get it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it kind of drips out of him, you know, his bias toward Jeffree, I think. But, you know, do you feel like, okay, so Rich being your friend, do you feel like with people other than Jeffree, do you feel like he's a reliable source of drama information other than Jeffree?
Yeah. But I think he's reliable with Jeffree as well. He's just not digging into, like, the really negative things that could come with Jeffree.
Gotcha.
I get it. Rich is a very loyal friend. Like, when he's a friend to you, then he is like a ride or die. So.
Gotcha. So that makes sense then. So I think just viewers of Rich need to understand that that's just the way that it is, that we're all humans and we're going to have our own relationships and things like that.
Like, he's open about it too. It's not like he's hiding, like, oh, I'm friends with Jeffree Star, so therefore, like, no. He's very open that they're friends. Obviously, he's in the documentary. And it is what it is.
Right. Gotcha. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, if people can put it in their own perspective with their own friends, you know, would you make a video about your friend, even if that was your job? Like, if you worked for, like, E! Entertainment or whatever, and, like, they asked you to cover one of your friends, like, would you feel comfortable doing that? Like, it's sticky. It gets really tricky like that, you know, because we're all people. I think people forget that, you know, even drama channels are people. Except for Spill.
Oh, no. That's like a computer or something.
Caitlin says, Rich can do no wrong.
Yeah, I love it.
One thing I've said to Rich, and I've said about him multiple times, is that he is a marketing genius, and I don't think he realizes that. I don't think he realizes, you know, his catchphrases and his branding is I believe, one of the strongest and best branding on the entire platform. The way that he has put him out there, all the things he says in every single video, and the way that he, you know, does the makeup and the crown and the things, it's genius. It's absolutely genius. And I think that, you know, people don't really think about that. I think a lot of how smart it takes for somebody to be smart enough to think of all that and to do all of that. Like, I don't know. I sound like I'm like Rich Lux Stan, which I'm not. I mean, I was calling him out the other week. So, but. I
heard you got into some hot water with that girl.
I did. Well, you know, Rich's fans are very loyal. And if you say anything negative about Rich, you better be prepared for it. If you say anything negative about anybody, if I say something negative about this nail polish, people are going to come for me. So, I mean, anytime there's an opposing opinion and somebody feels strongly about something, you're going to have people coming for you. It's just the way that it is. And especially when you talk about somebody that people love. And there are a lot of people that love Rich. And there are a lot of people that love you, too.
No, they don't, girl.
So, no, I think there are quite a few people here that do. Yep. And Lisa says, Rich really is smarter than he knows. Smart and ride or die, quite a catch, is what he says. What she says. Sorry, Lisa. Wrong pronoun there for a second. Yeah. But you know all of this. So, speaking of your friendships, Nadi from PopLuxe. Look at that smile. Okay, so are you planning on collabing with Nadi anytime soon? Because I've seen y'all talk to each other on Twitter, and it's quite provocative.
Well, Nadi is going to be here in November. He's coming for a visit. So the difficulty with Nadi is on his channel, he says that it's a thing of positive energy, don't send any hate, like all that kind of stuff. Obviously, when you link up with me, then that kind of goes out the window, because obviously my channel is not about positive energy. Like, all that fucking stuff. So, I don't know what we would collab on. I have kind of an idea. That's not a YouTube thing though. But I don't know. I would love to collab with Nadi. I really enjoy Nadi, and I can't wait to see him.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you guys. I've been friendly with Nadi and acquaintances with Nadi for quite a while, and I just adore him. So I think that's really cool that you guys are going to be able to hang out. So hopefully there'll be some kind of video collab somewhere. That would be awesome. Somewhere. Somebody did mention on here, I do want to address this, Blessing Ogwum. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Jen is just giving Rich credit for words he didn't come up with. And I don't think that Rich ever claimed to come up with the words. It's just that the way that he uses them and put them into his branding is the way that is what I'm giving him credit for. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that I'm not saying Rich invented these phrases, or it's the way that he incorporates them into his channel. You know, just like how, you know, Graveyard Girl didn't come up with, you didn't invent the word sippy, you know, like, but she incorporated sippy and drinking out of her cup. It's the same kind of thing. It's not like she invented that, you know, it's the same thing with Rich. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick because I don't want people to think one thing. And I appreciate y'all when you call me out on stuff because that saves me in the comment section from having to read it 90 times. So I appreciate that. So with you and your friends, like well, I guess you can only speak for yourself. Have you ever been recognized, like are you being recognized on the street now at this point? Like when you're walking around, do people like, oh my gosh, are you Nick?
It does happen, and it always happens on the day where I look like complete shit.
Oh,
like
no.
it's like you know that you look like trash, and you're out, and someone's like, "Oh my god, I love you," or you like might smell a little girl because you were been sweating. So it's like, oh my god, but no, it does happen. It happens to like everyone. It happened to Dustin. It happens to Rich, obviously. I haven't been around Ashley to see that, but yeah, it does happen.
Yeah,
it's a good feeling.
It's a good, you enjoy that when people are like, oh my gosh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, actually, the coolest place that I ever had anybody recognize me is I was in an ice cream shop in Canada, and the woman who worked there, it was her grandmother's ice cream shop, and she was like, oh my gosh, are you Jen Loves Reviews? And I'm like, in the middle of Canada in an ice cream place. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, yes. It was really neat. So I mean, it is cool. It's definitely cool to be recognized somewhere. Have you seen, go ahead.
What's awkward about it though is like people will get into conversations with you, which is great. Love to hear what people, but then it's kind of like, do you ask them if they like want a photo? Like that has happened because they literally talk your ear off for like 30 minutes, girl. You're like, well, do you want a photo? And then you ask and they're like, You're like, oh my god, did I just think I was something that I wasn't by asking if they want a fucking photo?
This is how well, you know what's funny is I've never been in that situation because I'm always the one pulling out my phone. Can I take a picture with you? Yeah. And I always want a picture with them. Like, I'm like, this is so cool. You know who I am. I want to remember you because I don't know if this is ever going to happen again. So, you know, come here, let me hug you. So that's how I get out of it, you know. Well, I never even thought about like, do you want a picture? I'm always like,
you're like, got my phone ready.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture of you. A lot of people were asking in the questions, they were asking about your recovery, that you are in recovery. Someone had mentioned that you had relapsed a few months ago, and that you people just want to know how you are and how you're doing.
I'm doing really good, and I think that a lot of people can tell that because one, I've gained a shit ton of weight. Like this is the heaviest I've been in a very long time. I did relapse a few months ago, and that was when I relapsed with hardcore drugs and just went to like a very dark place. You guys online love to hear about that. And it got to the point where I could have probably died. Like there was a few moments where my body just like shut off, and like you would wake up and you'd be like, ugh, like really quick. And I started to get clean off of the drugs, but I was masking that with alcohol. And I was drinking, like I was downing like bottles of tequila, like almost weekly at my house. And then an incident happened where I got completely like blacked out, was walking down a highway without my shirt on, could have got hit by a semi truck.
Oh my gosh.
And it didn't take until I put myself into a situation where I lost like 2 friends of mine that I woke up and said, I need to correct this whole entire situation. So now here I am in Houston with my move. Made a spur of the moment, got out of every situation, cut off a lot of people in my life, and I'm good, and I'm happy. And I don't have any For me, I was never a user that was like, I have to like have this. Like when I wanted to stop it, I could stop it. But if I had it readily accessible or somebody that would always have it on them, that's when I would use it. So here, being in a new place, I have no cravings. I literally don't even want alcohol. And I'm good. I'm happy. And now I'm good.
Was that one of the reasons why you wanted to move?
I felt like when I was in Florida, I was bored to the point where I was touching things that I wasn't supposed to. Just needed a new space, a new environment, new people in general.
Yeah.
It was a long time coming.
And the move went well, and you're happy, and things are good, and
it's really good, and it's almost like I'm a completely different person. Which it's funny because earlier we talked about how people were coming for the drama channels and all that, and one of the things they always said is Nick seems like he had a chip on his shoulder, and I did. I can totally admit, like, I was in a very like negative space. That's where my mind was at. So maybe I went a little bit hard at people. But now it's like I feel like a completely different person. I mean, hell, I'm drinking fucking celery juice every fucking morning. Like,
I heard that.
A celery juice girl.
So do you feel like now that you're in a more positive headspace, that's going to affect the content that you put on your channel?
I feel like it already is. I feel like it's more like it's always going to be shady as hell. Where there's the shade will always be there, but I feel like it's more lighthearted. I feel like there's less like digs at someone, and I feel like it's more about like, just presenting the facts. Like a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but that's how I feel about a girl.
Nice. So you feel like you're moving in. It almost sounds like a maturity, to kind of grow and no, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think?
Like, girl, we could really get into this. I feel like for the past like 4 years of my life, I really lost myself. I went from being in an actually more than 4 years, sorry. But I went from being in an abusive relationship, like mentally and physically, to immediately jumping into a relationship with the person that I married. And I didn't have someone to ever tell me no, if that makes sense. So I was able to abuse things and abuse people and just be a complete asshole. I lost myself completely. And when that event happened, it happened back in August, it really, like, it was almost like something in my brain just like switched. And I was like, who the fuck am I? Like right now, like what is going on? So it's almost like I feel like I've been, sounds so stupid. I feel like I've been like reborn, not as like a Christian girl. I'm one of those, not a born again, but I feel like I'm finding myself, and if you would have asked me like a few months ago if I wanted to date ever again in my life, I would have told you no. But girl, she's been feeling her oats.
Okay, well there you go. Well, I'm really glad to hear that you're in such a positive headspace, and that you're you just seem like less angry. Like just less bitter, like kind of bitter bitch before, where now you're like less of a bitter bitch. Like you're just more of like I'm gonna call these people out on their BS, but I'm not gonna like be a bitter bitch about it. Like I'm just gonna be like, okay, this is what happened, and this is what needs to be changed, and this was different, and like,
that was so good. Less angry.
It's true, though.
You're right.
I mean, if you listen to the tone of your videos from 6 months ago versus the tone of your videos now, you can hear a lightness in your voice.
I agree.
Like, like, I don't know. That's my observation. So
I feel like everything's going really well.
That's so awesome. That's really awesome. I do have one more thing I do want to bring up. Diamond Doll was wondering about your wording, how in the past she felt like your wording has been appropriate, your wording hasn't been good when it comes to people of color, that you've targeted people of color in a more negative way. I don't know if you feel that that's true or not, but she feels like you need to be careful about your wording when you talk about people of color. And I don't know that particular situation, but I just wanted to address that. I'll just read what she says. Ask Nick if he now understands he needs to be more careful about the things he says about Black and Latinx people. So
I agree that my wording in any situation, not just this one, could be completely off. And that's my mistake. So I own that. I'm someone that I don't get offended by anything. So when I say something out there, I'm not thinking like there's probably going to be someone out here that's offended by what I'm saying. So if something I say offends you, please let me know about it, because I don't know.
Right. And I think sometimes, you know, when you're not Black or Latinx, it's hard to know what words are the appropriate words until someone educates you on that. And then once you're educated on what's more appropriate, then you kind of mold and you figure it out. And it's, you know, it's just a learning process. It's always a learning process, and everybody's on their own path of learning, you know, of different things. But, you know, Carla's like, Jen, what are you doing bringing that up? Well, I'm bringing it up because people are not happy with me for bringing that up. I think that it's important to talk about how people feel. And I think that the person who brought that up has Diamond Doll has some, you know, some valid, you know, her feelings are valid. And I think it's important to recognize, you know, if someone has a strong feeling about something, it's important to recognize it. And, you know, I think Nick has recognized it, you know, that none of us are perfect, you know, none of us are perfect. And all we can do is continue to learn and grow. And I don't know, I've personally seen a lot of growth in you and your channel recently, and I'm just really excited for you and the way your life is going. You just seem so happy, and, you know, that things are going so well for you. And I couldn't be happier for you. So,
Thank you.
You do have a party coming up. And people were asking about, you know, that you've invited some YouTubers to your little housewarming party. Are you willing to talk about your guest list at all?
You know, I call it a housewarming when I don't even know if we're really even going to be in my house that much. But I just like bringing people together, like people like from different like spectrums just to meet. So I don't know, like Nadi's gonna be there. I don't know, maybe you'll be there. I don't know.
I'm gonna try to make it. I was invited. I'm gonna try to make it. It's just a time crunch thing, so I gotta figure it out. But
I think that like Trisha Paytas might come. She was texting me telling me that she's gonna be here, which I think would be like hilarious if she just like walked in. She'd probably be like, "What a dump." Like, where am I?
Yeah.
My friend Logan said she's coming. Nadi, of course. Petty Page. It's just a lot of people. There's Southern Snackers are coming, which is a mukbang channel. Dustin cannot make it. He has prior plans. But it's just going to be a lot of good people.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, I'm hoping to be able to make it. I really want to be able to go. So we'll see if I can swing it.
I'll start making my family canceled.
Yeah.
If she doesn't make it, we're going to cancel Jen.
Okay. All right. Cancel me. I'm canceled. I'm canceled. There's so many things going on in the chat that I want to talk about, but we've got 3 minutes left. Sharita is talking about, you know, privilege and talking about all the and Sandra and stuff. And it's like, I would love to talk about that. We can't with 2 minutes left. I just want to make sure you know that I hear you, I see you, and we just have 2 minutes, so I can't get into that, unfortunately. But I know that it's important, and I just want to make sure that I address it, because it is important, an important topic to talk about. I don't think it's necessarily the most appropriate thing for Nick and I to talk about, you know, because we're two white people sitting here having a conversation. But I do want to address that. I think that's important. So I just want to, you know, say that I hear you. I do have one last two questions for you. Do you see yourself continuing your drama channel for a long period of time? Do you see this as being your like big plan for the future, or do you see maybe not doing drama at some point?
For now, it's what I plan to stick with. I would love to do a podcast where I can literally talk about anything with no censorship. But I mean, for now, I kind of just want to like live in the moment, and this is where my head is at. I'm focused on that. Yeah,
so day to day at this point, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the last one was asked by a really important person: are your lips natural? Because they kind of look like a duck's ass.
They are a duck's ass, thank you. Because I love getting my whole entire face filled. Fun fact: my cheeks are not real.
Really?
My lips are not real.
No.
My under eyes, my whole forehead is Botoxed.
No.
I mean, I naturally have cheekbones that stand out, but I like to go to the extreme. So this is fake. These are fake. This is really duck shots. They look good when they're on someone's, you know what. But that's
wow, I didn't
I'm
know
open
that.
about it, bro.
And
I'm not sitting here trying to, like, I'm gaining weight naturally.
Wow. And just so you know, that's the question Nick asked for himself. That's why I phrased it
Yeah.
that way. But I didn't know that you had like, because your cheekbones are amazing. Like I was looking at a photo of you. I was like, he could, I saw on Netflix, there's like a documentary called Jawline. I was like, Nick could have done the Jawline documentary because he's got the jawline, he's got the cheekbones, all of that. So, yeah, but is the jawline real?
The jawline is real.
Okay,
The cheeks are like semi-real. I mean, you can still see them a little bit.
So, but what did you get done in your cheeks? Like, is it just filler or did you get like implants or something? Like, what is happening?
I just get filler right here on the bone.
Okay.
This right here is all real because if a man gets the filler here, it's going to look like an apple. It's going to look like a doll.
Okay. Okay.
So I just do right on the bone, a little under the eye, because I get like an indentation here. It's like a dent.
Okay.
And then the lips.
Wow. I learned something new
And
today.
I love every minute of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's your face, man. You do what you want. Like, yes. People are always trying to get me to do it. And it's like, it's my face. I'm happy. I'm 41 years old. I'm allowed to have wrinkles. Like, I'm cool with it. I've made my peace. I'm good. I don't need Botox. I'm good. But if people want to do it, more power to you. It's your face. Do your thing.
Oh, I started at 25.
Wow. That's crazy, man. But you enjoy it. Like, good
I
for
love
you.
every.
Good for you. Thank you so much for coming on, Nick. I really appreciate it. It was really fun chatting with you. And if you're watching this on the replay, please keep in mind that this is a live chat, meaning that there is no editing. This is a different experience than an edited video. Anything that comes out of our mouths was coming out of our mouths. There's no editing. There's no pre-planning except for the questions ahead of time. So please take what we said with a grain of salt and don't pick us apart to death on every single word that we said because it's live. So, keep that in mind. And yeah, this was a really fun time. We do have another live chat with a surprise guest in 2 weeks. Is coming next week. There will not be a live chat or a What's Been Makeup because I will be in New York City for Ipsy Live. So there was no content next weekend. Really excited. Going to get to see lots of really awesome people. Going to get to meet Angelica Nyquist for the first time. Going to get to hang out with my friend Yernay Nicole that's here in live chat. Tons of people. Teresa is dead and like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. So many cool people I'm going to get to hang out with. Nick, you should come. Come fly up to New York and hang out with us.
I love Teresa's dad.
She's amazing, isn't she? Oh my gosh. I can't even with her. Her bus stories get me every time. Every time.
Right? Yeah.
I know, right? All right. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you all so much for being here in live chat. Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Mad love to you. And Nick and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.